Viewer discretion is expressed for the following program. If you are easily triggered or offended, please exercise caution while viewing this program, because the hosts really don't care. Warning, this show is not for children, and not for coworkers either.
Oh, here you go. Oh, man, I pushed the wrong button. Jeez. Amateur hour here at the...
We can't hear it anyway. I'll do it. Yay. That's what it's supposed to sound like, JJ's. We just started doing this yesterday. There it was.
Yeah.
We ended
I ended it
professional start to this
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. This is Your Two Dads, hosted primarily on rumble.com/JJW, though we're also on YouTube and Twitter and some other places that I don't remember. Because those other places don't matter. Because the only places that matter are Rumble and Twitter and YouTube. Good morning, Deacon. Oh, I'm also Deacon.
Hello there.
Let me fix me name. Good morning, everybody. If you saw the title card just a second ago, to come back up in a minute tonight. Or I guess tonight. Last night, there was a big old Trump debate. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. Not a lot, probably. What's going on, Deacon? Deacon has been working like a dog, and everybody here should be appreciative that he shows up to even do the show, because he is dead tired. He was telling me earlier. He worked 120 hours already this week.
It feels like it. I was at work Tuesday night from 5:30 a.m. until 9:30 something p.m. And then last night I did the exact same thing, except I was closer to 9:50, but I had a couple hours break in between there that I didn't. So I've been working.
5:30 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. is the entire time that I was awake yesterday. So the entire time I was awake yesterday, you were working.
Yes. Here. And it's not like I'm shoveling, coal or digging ditches or roofing houses or anything like that, but it is it is here. I've got a train coming. It's fixing to blow me out of the sky. I can hear it.
Choo-choo, ka-choo.
Can you turn down my microphone or leave it up?
Oh, leave it up. I think it's great. It adds character to the show.
Hear that?
Toot. All right. Good morning, everybody. If you're here in chat, holler at us. And if you haven't already, leave a like, comment, or whatever. Deacon, good morning. Before we get into the Trump stuff, let's do our cultural thing. You guys got some culture for us? Got some music?
I don't know so much culture today, but yesterday, I've been trying to do some 90s-ish songs, and I guess it started with the Hootie and the Blowfish earlier in the week. And then I did Edwin Collins' Girl Like You before, and you were like all about some Empire Records, which impressed me. I was like, oh yes, JJ loves Empire Records. That you gain extra bonus points in my book. So today I was like, okay, let me listen to some more of these Empire Records songs and see if I remember any of these other ones on here. And I was like, Gin Blossoms are one of my favorite bands of all time. I would love to go see them live. Never got to see them live. So I was like, I have that one. But there's another song on the album. I think it was on the album. It was on the movie The Saint. No, it wasn't on Empire Records. I started looking through the 90s. I started looking through 90s hits, and I come across this song. I was like, I remember the Sneaker Pimps. Do you remember the
Yes, I'm listening to it right now.
Yeah. And I was like, I think I remember that song, Six Underground. I was like, underground, na. And I started listening to it. I was like, I remember this song. I remember this freaking song.
Love this.
Man. Yes, that the movie The Saint made that song famous, and it didn't get to number one. I don't even know if it made the top 20, but it was a good song. And the Sneaker Pimps, they got their name from an article from the Beastie Boys. The Beastie Boys had hired a man to track down some classic shoes for them, and they called him the Sneaker Pimps.
Probably 2 decades since I heard this song.
I know it was for me too. I heard it. I was like, I hadn't heard this song in 20 years.
Wow, what a blast from the past.
So they're still around too. They just put out an album like a couple of years ago. I don't know what they sound like now, but the Sneaker Pimps.
Yeah,
I'm
you
glad.
got another one you threw in there too.
Okay,
Is that a
so
bonus
this
song?
bonus song today that I threw in is a country song, and it is from the '90s as well. It's from a country supergroup called Ricochet. Do you remember Ricochet? She's
Never heard of
got her
Ricochet.
daddy's money, her mama's good looks, more than a stack of comic books. You don't remember that song? Okay,
Never heard
YouTube
that.
strike me for singing that shit. Okay, so that was a big song back in the '90s, and they had a couple of songs, and they were like one of those groups that come out,
Yeah,
Shenandoah, and Pirates of
man.
Mississippi and Ricochet. So anyway, the
Okay.
reason I added that one today is because I'm interviewing their lead singer, Heath Wright, Heath Wright, today in about an hour. As soon as we
Oh,
get off
cool.
here, and they've got a new album out and stuff,
Is
and I
he
got a chance
is
to
he gonna
interview.
be a phone
Yeah,
interview
it's a
or is
phone
he?
interview.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I think he's in
That's
Oklahoma.
awesome. That's awesome.
So I
I don't
added
know
that
who
song. I was
Ricochet is.
like, so listen to it. You'll like it. It was a big song back in the '90s.
You might have made my day with playing Six Underground, though.
That's
You might.
awesome.
What
We
an
got to do some more
amazing way to
'90s
start
next
the day.
week.
Yes. All right, everybody. So that's our song of the day. And if you haven't already, go to our Discord server where Deacon keeps a vault of awesome songs that you can go through, and sooner or later we'll put them on a playlist that you can easily access. But right
I'm
now,
working on that.
your convenience is not our number one priority.
I'm working on that, but I was doing something. I'm going to do something with the playlist that goes in between the songs. So,
Oh
so
yeah.
I'm kind of DJing it. So you'll hear a song, and then you'll hear
How are
me
you
talking
gonna?
a little bit.
Oh, how are you gonna do that?
I got a way.
Oh, he's got a way. Okay, that sounds cool. All right. All right, man. So today's title, if you hadn't seen it a minute ago, Trump's Force Ghost wins the Republican National Committee primary debate. So I thought this was.
I gotta say that I got to give you a hand for
Yeah,
that one.
thank you.
That one was brilliant because
Hey,
I
I went
was
back.
coming in this morning and I thought, man, we got a great idea for a title. Today's one of those rare days where we got so many ideas for a title we don't know which one to choose. And JJ, I was like, JJ, we can do this, or we can do this. And JJ put them all together into one.
Well, yeah, I think we were just on the same wavelength. I know sometimes you're like we're not even thinking the same way at all. Well, this morning we were because I was already working on that this morning, and I went back and I made Trump's Force Ghost look a little more Force Ghosty. So I'm happy about that too. Okay, so
that is nice.
So we're gonna open up this with a couple of facts. In case you guys don't pay attention to politics or weren't paying attention to media or anything like that, last night the Republican National Convention had on Fox News the first debate for the Republican National Committee's primary, for whom they will eventually nominate and field a candidate for the 2024 election. The the primary aired on Fox News exclusively, and if you tried to stream it, they would snipe your channel and take you down. And Donald Trump, former president of the United States, Donald Trump, declined to participate. He said, oh, "Look, I'm not going to." The only thing that would happen is that Donald Trump would lift everybody on the stage up because they would all be attacking him, and it would just, there was no upside for Trump to go to this debate.
It would have given them more viewers.
Right. Now, it would be one thing if Donald Trump was like, "No, I'm just not going to participate. You guys do your thing." And, because I'm clearly the front runner. And if one of you guys catch up a little bit, okay, that would have been one thing. It's a whole other thing when instead Trump's like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just do like counter programming. I'm going to put up another show at the same time and we'll see who does better.
But wait. In Trump's defense here, they did this and he's like, hey, man, I'm not going. I got a lot of shit going on in my life, and you're holding this the night before I'm supposed to do this and be here down in Georgia. So I'm not going because, number one, if there's not an American that doesn't know who I am, then they're not really an American and they're a spy from somewhere. And number two, everybody knows what I stand for. So it's pointless for me to go, and I'm really, really busy doing a lot of other shit that you may have heard of. Okay.
You got
The
Georgia trying to
reason
put me
that
in
they
jail.
wanted him there was because it would have drawn Fox more viewers. And when
That's
he
right.
declined, they went on the offensive against him and trying to make him. So I would have done the same thing. This is why I like the man, because he was like, well, you son of a bitch. All right, you want to fucking play? Well, let's play. Hey, Tucker. Hey, Tucker.
Yo, Tucker.
You want the interview? Let's do it Wednesday night.
Yeah.
I don't blame him for doing it. That's why I like the man, because he will stand up there and go, kiss my ass. I'm going to do this. That is the God-given right of every American.
Now, Fox News, Fox News for 20 years, it's been the dominant news source. Fox News was taken out by a Twitter post. So Fox, I don't know what the viewers were for Fox News last night on the primary debate, but it was nowhere near the views of Tucker Carlson's Trump interview. Okay, I believe that within the first 10 or 20 minutes of the debate starting, maybe 2 million people had tuned into the Fox debate, and 20 million people had already watched the Tucker Carlson interview. But that's not all, Deke. If you go check the Tucker Carlson interview right now, right there in the little corner, it says 174 million views. It's not even been 24 hours.
And I haven't watched it yet.
And Deacon hasn't even watched it. So Donald Trump's interview has dwarfed the Republican National Committee primary debate. That said, it was important because, these are all people that are contend against Donald Trump for the nomination of the party. Before we even start, I will say also, Larry Elder, as far as I can tell, probably should have been eligible for this debate and was hard excluded from the debate. They not only refused to allow him in the debate, the Elder campaign was on a watch list at the event site. I think I have a tweet of that. Let me show this.
Really?
Here's Larry Elder's campaign, where they posted some screenshot and stuff. This is a notice that was floating around at the event table at the event, and it said, if you see Jason Miller, which I think Jason Miller is the it's the whatever the fake Twitter was, that sold out real quick. I don't know, but that guy, if you see him, he's not allowed entry. A couple other people. This badge right here says the Vivek campaign credentials. So if anybody from Vivek's team other than Vivek showed up, it looked like they were not allowed in. And the entire Larry Elder campaign were not allowed even in the building of the event. So not only were they not allowed, not even showing you guys. Here it is. So here you go. So the Larry Elder campaign was not allowed even in the building of the event. So the Republican National Convention is
the problem that
acting
we have.
up.
The problem is, this is a debate from a fucking news organization.
Yes.
This is a debate from a news organization that is being lauded and looked at as an official blah, blah, blah. It's a news organization putting this on. So JJ is pointing out that because they are if I at the radio station am going to hold a debate and the guy that I don't like wants to come and do this debate, I'm going to pull some strings to make his life a living hell because it's my debate.
Yeah.
I'm putting it on.
Yeah. I mean,
it's not fair and balanced.
No, it's not at all. Fox News is garbage. And if you're still watching that, look, none of the others are good, but don't think that all the others are bad and Fox News is okay. No, Fox News is shit too. So,
they're all shit, and there's never a a balanced and fair debate between these people. If there is, if you fix one problem, you've got a fucking moderator that's as liberal as all get out, throwing softball questions at Hillary Clinton and throwing freaking algebra calculus equations at Trump. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, so we got one little clip that we're going to play from the debate, and then we're just going to get off of it. And you guys can go watch the debate or whatever. I will say that the takeaways from most people are that Vivek just ran the floor. Like everybody else there was just a bunch of losers, including Ron DeSantis. But, everybody's got their opinion. But we got a little clip here we're going to watch. I want you to
bitched about.
Yeah, Chris Christie being
Trump, and Mike Pence said something. I can't believe Mike Pence was even up there.
What an asshole. These people are all assholes. I want you to watch the amount of time it takes for people to respond to this initial question, and that's all. And it's going to be like not even a minute. But here we go, guys. Let's see. Here we go. Here's Brett at Fox News.
Election loss.
You all signed a pledge to support the eventual Republican nominee. If former President Trump is convicted in a court of law, would you still support him as your party's choice? Please raise your hand if you would.
One. Okay, three others.
First one to go up.
Yeah.
Look,
and then
they all wait to see. They all wait to see.
And then Ron is like, oh, I guess we're saying yes. And then it kind of trickles back down here. And then even Fatso Chris Christie raises his hand, but then he stipulates. He's like, oh, no.
It all over again and just kind of go slow.
Yeah. You don't want me to actually slow it down, do you?
Can you slow it down?
Yeah, I could slow it down. Yeah, let's play it back at half speed.
Yeah, slow it down to half speed. Okay.
Here we go.
I want to see how quickly the hands go up.
Raise your hand if
Vivek goes up first.
Oh,
He's
for
just
sure.
Like, boom. First one.
Nikki Haley, Scott,
4. And then the other ones. Okay, so who's standing? Pause it. Is that who's
this is
here
Pence.
Vivek?
Over here, this is Nikki Haley. This is Ron DeSantis.
Okay, so DeSantis went up 5th after he's seen all these people go up.
Yeah.
All the ones.
5th. Yes.
And then Pence slowly raises his hand. Like
and then watch Chris Christie. Hold on. Let's go back just a second. Here we go. Look at Chris Christie looking down the field like, oh, okay, so we're not going to okay. I see how the wind's blowing.
Mm-hmm. So does Pence.
And then he holds his hand up, and then after a second he's like shaking his head. It's like, hold on,
I'd like to point out that Vivek, look at him again. This is why I like this guy. He is no nonsense. He doesn't bullshit with what he says, and that his obvious gestures. Will you still vote? He was the first one to go up. He is holding his hand the highest, and he's holding his hand up the longest. Chris Christie went like this.
Yeah. Yes, I will. Hold on. No, I'm saying no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the way up the whole time.
Yeah.
That's why I like this guy. That's why I like him.
Let me just say, Pence, who's here left of, I don't think you can see my cursor. Maybe you can.
Right there. I can.
Pence here, who's left of DeSantis, was the vice president of the United States under Donald Trump. And he didn't raise his hand until after DeSantis and the other people. Now, Pence acts like a wuss because he didn't want to get caught up in Trump's challenge of the election. And I've heard Trump. In fact, last night on the interview, let me pull this down. I heard Trump's argument about it was Trump's sincere belief that he thought that the vice president had a greater role in the January 6th events than just rubber stamping whatever he was handed. So Mike Pence basically said, whatever they give me, I'm just going to count. And Donald Trump said, hold on, if you think that that's fraudulent votes or fraudulent electors, you have the right to send it back to the legislature. And, and nothing about that is illegal. everything about that is like, well, look, if you assert that right or whatever, then take it to the courts and let the courts decide. That's the way that our country's supposed to work, right? You challenge a law, you challenge a rule, and then you can let's sort it out. Pence was like, no, I'm not allowed to do that. I'm the vice president of the United States. I'm literally just to hand paper from one person to the other. So, Trump's made a pretty good argument that his actions in attacking Pence were defensible, at least in some regard. So
yeah, okay.
Anyway, all right. So that's the now Vivek did go out and actually present some policy, some ideas. Everybody else on stage there is just garbage. Okay, like honestly, DeSantis did not impress last night. Though you got some DeSantis cucks out there that are just going to be for sure in his camp.
Yeah.
All right, we got some other news.
Okie dokie. I didn't
That
put
was
any
pretty good,
news
Ian.
in last night. I apologize.
Yeah, no, look, we already got 20 minutes out of one clip, so we're good. We're doing all right. Let's see. I do have a before we move on. I do have. I saw this photo that the debate stadium had 3 sections of empty seats or whatever. I don't really think this is such a big deal. It kind of looks like they set that aside for media to have like clear shots or something.
Probably.
I'm not real sure.
Probably.
Yeah.
They do that in concerts and stuff sometimes, as block off areas and whatnot for certain reasons. That's not unusual.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's stay, I guess, on politics for a second. Let's get rid of that story. Meta, Facebook, apparently employs. You're going to be shocked by this. Apparently employs activists as fact checkers, according to Australia. This is on timcast.com. A new investigation revealed that Meta, which is Facebook, the company that owns social media platforms Facebook, Instagram, and Threads, has been violating its own rules and employing partisan activists as fact checkers. The effort has resulted in social media fact checking being abused in order to censor, shadow ban, and throttle the pages of certain news outlets who cover topics in a way that is disfavored by progressives. Sky News Australia published an expose that showed that tech giant Meta is non-compliant with its own rules of impartiality and transparency, using front organizations to silence news coverage to influence politics. Some revelations contained in the investigation raised questions about Meta's global fact-checking operation, which appears to have been hijacked by activists. They have a secret commercial contract with Royal Melbourne Institute of Technology, allowing the fact-checking unit to be paid up to $740,000 a year from an Irish Meta subsidiary. So is this in any way like, this isn't surprising, right? That
No.
Meta is hiring activists to pretend to be fact checkers. That organization itself says it's a fact checking organization. But look, there can be no fact checkers. If we can't have news that reports news and facts, then you certainly can't have fact checking organizations that checked those facts, since everybody's lying all the time. So, this is, of course. So fact checking just on its face is like absolutely absurd. If you think that some organization can come out here and be like, oh, well, that's not true because this organization fact checked it. That organization has an agenda. If you have an organization, you have an agenda. I think that's fair to say. Wouldn't you think that's fair to say?
Yes.
Yeah. Like, you don't start organizations for no agenda. Yeah. I think it's fair to say. So anyway, Facebook is probably not the best place to get your news. Nothing to say about that.
I'm not a Facebook person, so
yeah, I'm not sure who
I
is.
don't have anything to say about Facebook.
What about Threads? You on Threads? I've never even seen Threads. Yesterday was Wednesday the 23rd, and yesterday Rudy Giuliani, America's mayor, was had his mugshot taken in Fulton County. Rudy Giuliani, former mayor of New York City, traveled to Fulton County Jail in Georgia yesterday, where he surrendered himself to law enforcement shortly after being booked in a mugshot of Giuliani, who led New York City through its darkest days following 9/11 terror attacks, was published. Here is the Rudy Giuliani mugshot. And
9/11 terror attacks. We've been fucking programmed to say that now. You said that without even thinking about it. You realize that, don't you? We've been this is brainwashing right here in front of us, people. Me and JJ talk about this all the time, and JJ accidentally let that slip because we've been brainwashed into saying the 9/11 terror attacks. That's what was said over and over and over and over and over again. And if you tell somebody they're a piece of shit enough, they start believing they're a piece of shit and they start saying they're a piece of shit. So if you say 9/11 terror attacks over and over and over and over again for 10 fucking years, we start saying it just like JJ did.
Hold on now. Like,
you didn't even realize you said it.
No, I know. I know I said it. What are you contending happened otherwise? Because my understanding is that terrorists flew planes.
Get into your Rudy Giuliani story. I'm just pointing out that brainwashing is alive and well, and you don't even realize that it's working on you.
Well, I'm not even going to argue that 9/11 happened. 9/11 happened.
That is a completely different subscriber only show that we can have. Subscriber only 2-hour show on 9/11.
Okay,
but where I'm not that is, if you want to talk about that, we will do something completely different. I'm pointing out the brainwashing that happens.
Yeah,
the news and everyone says the same words over and over again for so long that when you say it, you parrot it back.
True. Exactly. Well, I mean, like how else do you describe 9/11? The 9/11 attacks. We were attacked by somebody for sure.
There you go. What's wrong with that?
Well,
the 9/11 is all you got to say.
Okay. All right. I think you're okay.
They put that word in there to brainwash you.
In addition,
I'm just pointing it out.
In addition to Giuliani, we also have the mugshots from Sidney Powell. Long live the Kraken, Miss Powell. I'm sorry that case that I saw you release. Yeah. Anyway, it was full of typos and errors and stuff. And this is Jenna Ellis. You may recognize Jenna Ellis from Twitter, and she was also a defendant of Trump. Defending him during his impeachment on media and elsewhere. I think I've seen her offer to defend Disney in their free speech case against Florida for wanting to indoctrinate kids. So I'm not exactly a big fan of Jenna Ellis, and I couldn't give one shit if she gets thrown in jail for this shit. But I don't think there's any indication at all that Giuliani was acting in anything other than good faith. He might have bad information. He might not. I don't know. But it's never been my impression that Giuliani was outright not being forthright or honest. So, and it's super fucked up. Even Jenna Ellis, and Sidney Powell even, it's super fucked up that if you challenge an election, not only will the state of Georgia go after you, Donald Trump, they're gonna go after your legal counsel and call them co-conspirators. You are allowed to have legal counsel, even if you did something wrong, even if you are wrong. You're allowed to have legal counsel, and nobody should have their right to defense and legal counsel compromised for politics. So
it should show everyone in the country how corrupt the Democrats and the people in power are when they're trying to do something like this, because it's just like Rudy Giuliani said yesterday. If they can do this to me, they can do this to anyone. And if you don't think that they can start censoring I believe the same thing that they do. I think that shit was rigged too. In Georgia and 3 other freaking states.
Yeah.
All right. I think the election was stolen. You can't change my mind about that. All right. And so I agree with every one of them. I think this is a travesty to the American people and everything that this country stands for. And those officials in Georgia, when this is over with, they need to be stripped of every single piece of power that they have, because they are clearly abusing a freaking flawed system.
Yeah.
This system needs to be fixed, and these people are abusing it to the point that these other people in charge that are supposed to be looking out for things are not, and they're just letting them run rampant. We live in a fucking jungle.
I mean,
this is a jungle that we live in right now. It is not your parents' and my parents' world. My dad is 70-something years old, and he lives in fantasy world. He does, they grew up in a different world entirely than we did.
I think it's it's plain to me that the Department of Justice and the legal system are being leveraged as warfare in order to halt and stop the Trump campaign. That's got to be because they're just desperate and afraid they're going to lose. But this cannot be the precedent you dummies set, because it will get turned over on you eventually. If you set the precedent that you can use, and the thing is, Republicans won't do this kind of stuff. And and they also won't punish Democrats for doing this. But Democrats seem to have no problem whatsoever with using the levers of power wrongly in order to get political advantage. So,
yeah,
Democrats are evil and Republicans are weak.
Done it. Republicans do it too. But this has just been so bastardized in the past 3 freaking years that it's, look at everything in America has gone to shit in the past 3 years.
Yeah.
I posted that freaking meme in our channel, and it was, it's funny, but it's not even funny because it's true. Maybe I didn't post that one.
We get a lot of memes. Oh, that poor pig.
Join our Discord channel and you can.
Yeah, there's a lot of memes over there. I don't know which one you mean.
Yeah, well, I just don't remember. Maybe it was this one. It was like, for all you Trump haters out there, what did you hate most? No wars, Middle East peace, strong American economy, no inflation, growing 401ks, market profits, low gas prices, a secure oil reserve, lower taxes, a strong dollar. Once again, tell me what you hated.
Yeah. Oh, well, they probably hated the fact that we weren't sending enough bombs to Ukraine to murder other people.
I can't pay my fucking bills, but I'm glad that we're paying for Ukraine's fucking war. That's we're pissing off Russia and fucking China at the same time.
Oh, yeah. In fact, that was one of the things.
I don't think people realize this. They don't realize, we're helping Ukraine. No, we're not helping Ukraine. We're pissing off Russia and Russia's real good buddy that happens to be China.
Yeah, no. That's actually one of the issues that Vivek spoke about on the debate stage last night when nobody else was talking about it. Vivek said, look, the policies of this administration are pushing Russia and China together.
Yes.
That is like
China
stupid.
China was like, hey, Russia, hell, I'll buy oil from you. Everybody's protesting, and y'all are freaking, y'all are struggling. Yeah, hell, I'll buy oil from you. Hell yeah, you're one of the biggest land masses in the world.
Yeah,
I'll buy oil from you.
You know what?
I'm not even blaming China on that. That's just if you didn't do that,
I'm gonna get to Russia in just a second. I want to hit on this because we're kind of in legal still. We have an update on Alec Baldwin. I know everybody loves to know what's going on with Alec Baldwin.
Love this guy.
I know.
Nobody else cares about him but you.
Judge declines to dismiss suit against Alec Baldwin and the Rust producers. The film has had considerable production delays and legal hurdles since 2021 death of Helena Hutchins, whom Alec Baldwin accidentally shot while on set. That is the best way to put that. Accidentally shot while on set. Just the news. I'm sorry, you cannot read minds, so you do not know that it was an accident. A New Mexico judge has rejected a bid from actor Alec Baldwin and his legal team to dismiss a lawsuit from crew members working on Rust who sued the actor and the producers, alleging the cast and crew had been endangered due to cost-cutting measures. The film faced the Chief District Judge Brian Bidescheid issued a ruling and refused to delay proceedings as well, despite claims from the Baldwin legal team that he would have to invoke the Fifth Amendment due to fears, he says, in a civil case that could be used against him in a criminal case. So it's possible we could have Alec Baldwin say, "I take the Fifth. I take the Fifth. I plead the Fifth." Anyway, okay, so that I just wanted to blop that out there. It wasn't even worth a title card today, Deke. Okay, now this is
how blessed am I?
Yeah. This is bigger news. Deke, choo choo. I don't think we talked about it much, but I read it about a month ago. The Wagner Group leader, I can't say this game, Prigozhin, whatever, very nearly led a revolt of Wagner forces against Moscow because the Russian army had accidentally killed a ton of Wagner Group mercenaries. I don't know if you remember this or not, but Prigozhin and his group were marching on Moscow, and it caused Putin to move around and then defend Moscow, and then eventually Prigozhin backed off, and Putin had a kind of a meeting with a bunch of leaders, and we all kind of thought that Prigozhin wasn't going to make it out of that meeting, but he did for a little while. But it turns out, do you know anything about this stuff with Putin and the Wagner forces leader?
No.
Okay. Well, Wagner leader Prigozhin's name was on a list of 10 passengers on a plane that crashed Wednesday in Russia, which is crazy. It's crazy that you very nearly march on Moscow and then you get let off the hook, and then not even a month later your plane crashes. That's nuts. What are the odds of that?
What are the odds?
What are the odds of
crazy.
that?
It must have been they must have left a bolt out of the wing or something like that. That's wacky.
Wow. An investigation has been.
It sure wasn't shot down.
No,
if that's what you're thinking.
No,
if that's what you're alluding.
Why would
no,
they?
No.
Putin wouldn't do that. He's the president of the country.
Yeah,
that would be.
It was probably It's probably an old plane, or he's out of gas or something.
Maybe they forgot to fill it up.
They probably forgot to fill up.
An investigation has been launched into the crash of the Embraer aircraft, which occurred tonight in the Tver region. According to the list of passengers, among them is name and surname of Yevgeny Prigozhin. The Russian aviation agency said in a translation to the state output. The Wagner Group is still holding out hope he survived, according to the group's Telegram channel. Prigozhin might be on a second plane. His reported death comes less than 2 months after he led a brief uprising against the Kremlin. Well, that's interesting. Okay.
That's easy.
I thought that was interesting. Okay. Here's something that we should all be concerned about, Deke. You like science, right? Sure. Yes. I like science.
Yes.
Yeah. What if a bunch of science was exaggerated or fake?
What were you going to do if I said no? I'm going to hear the damn story.
I would say,
so go ahead.
Good for you. Write something right up your alley, Deke.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The top journal Science says that more than 2,600 of its papers may have exaggerated claims.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You mean the top people around these universities all over the place that have all this money?
Yeah.
Grants, you're coming out to say that all this crap is fake?
Yeah, I mean, not all of it, but there might be some thousand.
So what the hell am I supposed to believe now? And you make fun of me when I say there's aliens and we were seeded and we were genetically engineered by aliens. You make fun of me.
Yeah, because that's nonsense. Because
it's nonsense, isn't it? Yeah,
I think it's nonsense. A top international science journal funded by the federal government recently acknowledged that thousands of its published research papers may contain misleading language. More than 2,600 of these papers were examined in depth by another research journal called Scientometrics, And it found in a study from 1997 to 2021, the use of hedging words may have fallen by about 40%. In academic writing, hedging means using cautious language like could, appears to, may, to avoid sounding overconfident and to prevent giving readers a misleading conclusion. So when you take those kind of words out, you're just making statements of things that are facts. In 1997, there were about 115 hedging examples per 10,000 words, but by 2021, there were half that. So
they do this in your news a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
In the news that you watch.
What about in the news that you have gotten from AP or Reuters or things like that over the last, you've been doing this like 20 years now, right?
I've got, so I get news from my other radio station, the morning guy there, and he on my sister station, and he gets together all of our local news. That's part of, we have a little deal. I send him stuff and he sends me stuff, and that's part, he sends me news. And then I edit the news on the fly.
Yeah.
So I'm constantly sending back. I mean, there was one the other day that I just, hang on, I can find this one real quick. And I'll give you an example of what I said. So the story said, raising money for breast cancer awareness. And this is the email I sent him. Can you change that breast cancer line to say, raise money for breast cancer survivors in blank county? It's very vague with breast cancer awareness. I think we're all aware of breast cancer and we're all aware that you probably need to get, checked for breast cancer.
Go get your things checked out.
Females and males.
Yeah.
Yes, we know that by now. We're not raising money for breast cancer awareness.
Yeah.
We're raising money for breast cancer awareness in survivors in this county. And when those survivors, the breast cancer people, have to go do something and have to stay at a hotel, we pay for their hotel rooms and we give them gas money. And we pay for their meals so that they're not out money. So this is what your money's going for. It's not going for breast cancer awareness. We need to say this more, but news won't say that. News just says they take all that paragraph and they turn it into one word: awareness.
Yeah.
And it's such a generic word, and we've used that word for 30 years now that we just use it for anything.
Sure.
Awareness.
Yeah.
Let me get that word. Awareness is what we're using this for. Hell, we could do your two dads awareness campaign.
We need to.
We're raising money for your two
viewers
dads awareness because there's not a lot of people that are aware of your two dads.
Yeah. In fact, folks, you can help us out right now with your two dads awareness by hitting the like button at the bottom of the show
with your grandmother.
Yeah, please. Hey, Grammy.
Just share this and be like, Grammy, we think you're going to like these two strapping young lads.
The language can get a little colorful sometimes, but only because they care.
Grammy, I've heard Grammy cuss before.
Yeah.
She's all right. All right. Well, sorry. What
right. I'm actually maybe out of stuff.
They do this all the time. Yes.
Yeah.
Those words that you said though, could, may, would,
right.
Listen, just start listening in the news for that kind of stuff, and especially the science stuff, because I didn't realize, as a kid, you're like, oh, cool, like let me use space for example. That's an easy one with science, because we're like, oh, cool, that's a star and it does this, and that's a black hole, and that's space, and that's dark matter. But well, once you start actually looking into that. You know why it's called dark matter? Because we don't fucking know.
Yeah.
They were like, what is this? I don't know. What do you think it is? I don't know. We got to call it a name.
That's I don't know. I don't know stuff.
Yeah, that sounds
because our
let's call it dark matter.
Our equations don't work unless we put in the I don't know stuff.
Technology has allowed us to discover so many new pieces of information in so many different fields that in the past 20 years that our generation is having a tough time accepting it, because we were taught one way and now we're being told that was wrong. This is how it is. And we are having a tough time because we're going, nuh-uh, that's not how I was taught. But we were taught wrong because for 17 fucking generations, They were taught wrong. So if grandpappy told you that the sky is green and the grass is blue, your great grandchildren are going to believe that the sky is green and the grass is blue because that's what your great grandpappy said. But he was wrong.
He was wrong. The sky's clear.
So our technology is teaching us, it is finding all of this new stuff, and we're finding it and we're accepting it in some fields, but we're not in others. We're accepting it in like the medical field. We're like, oh, wow, this is cool. Let's do this. This is cool. But when we use that same technology and that same line of thinking for like historical and archaeological aspects, and we're like, we might have our history wrong, and there might have been some people here a long ass time ago. We're like, nope, that's wrong. All because of shit like this story right here, because you've got a bunch of academics that have lied and have been lied to, and you're being lied to. I'll get off my soapbox.
Okay.
I have a problem with people being taught wrong because we've been taught wrong our entire lives.
Well,
and people
how do you teach people right when you're
like
full?
to be told that they're wrong?
Well, how do you assure people that they will be taught right when everything around us is lying constantly?
You can't.
Yeah.
You can't. That's the question, my friend.
Yeah. Hey,
That's the question.
I found one more thing. Did you know that India landed a lunar module on the moon just a few days after Russia
Yes.
had one of their landers experience sudden non-existence? So
This, I thought this was going to be really cool because this could potentially answer some questions that have been plaguing the United States people for 50, 60 years now.
okay.
All right. Did we land on the moon? Is our stuff up there? Is the moon hollow? Is it cheese? Is it aliens? Was it strategically placed there? How come it doesn't do this? How come it does this? How come it does, maybe having more people come to the party up there instead of just trusting one people. Yeah, we landed.
Yeah, we did that. Didn't we do that?
Maybe
We did
have
that.
maybe
you
have
know you
more
don't need to
people
go. It's a
up
long
there.
way to go. You don't need to even bother. There's nothing up there.
Yeah. I mean, the Chinese have been growing worms and clover up there for years now.
So not only congratulations, India, for putting some stuff on the moon.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, good job. Apparently you're one of the 3 countries that can do that, or 4, I guess, because China.
4.
One of 4. Can Russia do that? I don't know if Russia can do that.
Russia is counted as one. Yeah.
They got well, they landed something on the moon for sure. Parts of something, at least.
They did.
Okay.
did.
So not only did congratulations India, not only did they land their lander on the moon, but China has a rover on the surface of the moon, and it used science to reveal deep layers 1,000 feet, 300 meters below
Russia
the
landed
lunar
on the
surface.
moon in a long time ago.
Yeah, did they? I don't know. Have they?
1966.
They've never been up there. Have
Yeah,
they actually been
had
up there?
They had the soft landing in 66. That's why why everybody says we faked our landing in 69 because we had to beat them.
Oh.
With people. They didn't have people.
Okay. So they landed a machine up there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
China. I thought they landed.
China has a team of scientists put together an image from the layers beneath the surface of the far side of the moon using data from China's U-22 rover. Okay, I'm going to show this page. This is how it's called China's U-2, Y-U-T-U, 2. So they called it U-22. U-22 rover. Chang's 4 lander and rover touched down on the moon's surface on January 2nd, 2019, making the first spacecraft to ever soft land on the side of the moon that never faces the Earth. And they made a solar powered rover to do that. That doesn't seem like a great idea, but okay. And
store energy.
Anyway, yeah. Let's get solar energy on the dark side of the moon. Anyway, the reason why
it goes to the dark side of the moon.
So the study was led by some folks at the Institute of Tucson, Arizona, and they presented a paper with evidence for 5 main layers, and at least 3 of them are made of basalt. So the moon is not hollow, according to the scientists, Deacon. It is got 3 layers of basalt, and then the researchers found that layers at shallower depths were not as thick as deeper down, suggesting volcanic activity producing decreasing flows over time as the moon's internal thermal energy that drove volcanism died. So, Deacon, I know you are a fan of the a theory that the Earth is a spaceship, or what is it called, a mega structure.
The moon is a structure by aliens that was strategically put in the sky.
Well, according to scientists, which we've already determined are not entirely reliable, but according to scientists, it's actually
we just said the last article.
Okay, so according to scientists,
am I supposed to believe them?
I don't know.
No, but what am I supposed to believe they say? Yeah.
Oh, volcanic activity cooled over time, and the 300 meters down was at least 3 layers of basalt with denser material at the bottom, lighter material at the top, indicating that the moon at one time had volcanic activity.
Okay. So do you believe that?
I don't have any reason not to believe that, Deacon.
You just read an article.
Yeah, but I don't have any reason to believe anything else either. I'll just take their claims at face value.
Okay.
I mean, other than I will give you that I think everybody lies.
Credence that it's a huge chunk of cheese than it is an alien structure. So I'm
personally never believed the moon was made of cheese.
It may be cheese.
It's rock and junk.
Yeah, that's
junk
cool.
material. Anyway,
I'm cool with that.
So cool.
So was there not an alien base on the dark side of the moon? Roger Waters wasn't sitting up there with his bass guitar, sad, talking about how such a sad childhood he had. He wasn't up there. Sorry, that's a Pink Floyd joke for all you Pink Floyd folks.
I will. Okay, so no, there's no space base up there. And if there was, but I will say, I will give you this much: if there was, China probably wouldn't tell us about it. Okay,
that's true. That's true.
So
I really think that China's probably figured out that the worms, like 10 generations of worms that were bred in zero gravity, now can float and have telepathy. And they've invented a whole new worm. Do you know that what they've been doing with some of their stuff that they've been doing? They've been growing things up there in their lab. They've been growing plants. And then one of the articles 10 years ago was that they were breeding these specific worms up there to watch how they've, worked in a low gravity environment as opposed to worms on our Earth. You can see how, and that's what I'm getting at. I'm making a joke that, 10 years later, they have space worms up there that have 10 generations of being bred in outer space, and they've developed telepathy and are going to come down to the Earth and take over. You like that story?
Yep. I mean, I like it if they'll make me a silk shirt.
All right. Sorry. Go ahead with your next story.
That's all I got, really.
Oh, okay.
That's all we have.
I have one for you. I had one, but I don't have the story, the yin yang story. I'll bring that one up tomorrow. Let me find my secret story here. JJ, you'll like this one. I've been saving this one in case we need this. So you see this, let me throw up this picture right here and see if you can tell me what you think this is. Do you know what that item is? What does that look like to you?
Looks like a woodworking mallet.
Right. It looks like a wooden mallet, It's a simple older wooden mallet. Yeah.
Pegs into a log. You have a log, you cut hole, you cut pegs, bang them together.
Exactly. And I'm sure all of our viewers are the most intelligent viewers on the internet. And so I'm sure they would probably assume the same thing.
That does look like iron or rusted iron or metal at the end. It doesn't look like wood.
That you have a keen eye, my friend.
Oh.
You have a very keen eye. Okay. So there was a Chinese man who had this mallet.
Uh-huh.
And he had been using it for a couple of decades as a nut cracker.
Oh, okay.
Perfect. Isn't that a perfect nutcracker to crack
Crunch.
Walnuts and whatnot?
Get some protein. Absolutely.
It was a grenade. A villager in China has spent 25 years using a hand grenade to crack walnuts without realizing it.
That's
A man from
amazing.
China's whatever province made the discovery recently after noticing it looked similar to a grenade pictured on a leaflet handed out by our local police. So, according to the villagers, the man had used the grenade to specifically crack open nuts.
Oh my God.
That guy is the luckiest
amazing.
man on the face of the planet.
Do you think he shit
25
himself as soon as
years.
he read that paper? He was like, oh my God. That's amazing.
Isn't that great?
Hey,
Oh,
you know, many, many years ago, I had a person I worked for or whatever told me that God favors fools. And I've always found that to be true. God favors fools. Because there's some people that like, they just don't know that they're doing dumb stuff. And God is up there just like, no, not yet. No.
I used to make that joke about myself. I was like, I'm a cosmic sitcom. I'm God. When God has a rough day, he's like, oh, let me turn down and see what's going on. Oh, it's the Bumbling Andy show. Let me see what's going on in the Bumbling Andy world today. Because I would always have the craziest crap that would go on in my world. It's funny.
All right. Well, that's all we got. You got a joke. You got a yuck.
I do.
We're a little early, but you've got to make a phone call.
I've got a phone call in 25 minutes. So
okay. Oh, you got a minute.
Yeah, I've got a little bit. Let me find my longer joke here because I've been waiting to tell this one.
Meanwhile, while he gets a joke, you guys are welcome to just go ahead and hit the like button on the video or leave a comment on our Rumble stream. And we had a comment yesterday, Deke, on our Rumble.
We did?
Yeah. And let's see. I think I put it up here.
That bald guy is really good looking. Was it that one? Because I wrote that.
It was something like that. Where did I put it? Maybe sometimes I put it in the general.
You put it in the notes.
Did I?
Mm-hmm.
Well, whatever. Can't find it right now. Okay. So, but for those of you leaving comments on Rumble, I appreciate it very much. All right. You got a joke? You ready?
I do. I was trying to find your...
I'm ready.
You've already made it tomorrow? What the hell, dude?
Tomorrow.
Right here it is. Here's your comment you were looking for.
Oh. What does it say?
Speaking of President Trump's bond, what if President Trump doesn't pay bond and goes to jail? Will nation fall into civil war? Also, why don't vaccine makers go to jail for hyping overselling a vaccine, which didn't work?
Yeah. Well, somebody's got to charge them.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that was one of them. Yeah. So actually, Dan Bongino was advocating for Trump to not post bond and to force Georgia to put him in jail, and then have the Secret Service exert their federal supremacy and take over the jail, or at least the floor of the jail, to secure it for the president, and basically make everybody in the world see that the Democratic Party in Georgia, or the Democrats in Georgia, including the Republican Democrats, force him into jail to force everybody to acknowledge that this is politicization. So I don't know. What if they do? What if you do that? I don't know. Okay, I'm ready for jokes. Let's do jokes.
All right. Here's your joke. So back in the 70s, you may remember that parents were giving us ridiculous names. They were hippie names because our parents were hippies, right? Okay, so you got names like Rainbow and Moonchild. So it got so bad that they had to take steps at school, and they were issued name tags to wear around their necks. So amongst the rainbows and blue skies and sunrises was a kid with the weirdest name of all, Fruit Stand. It was the talk of the teacher's lounge all day. Now, time comes to go home, and the big brains behind the signs came to the rescue again. Each kid's tag, their sign, flipped over so that Breezy went to the corner of 3rd and Main, and Whispering River went to Baker Street, and so forth. Well, when they flipped over Fruit Stands, it said Bob.
Oh my my God. That's not good. That's a
Wasn't it
long
good? That
setup,
was a
too.
good- I know that was a long setup. That was a
Huge,
good one. That was
huge
cool.
setup. All right. Deacon, what did the father buffalo say to the little boy
Bison.
buffalo?
I
hate you.
before you
I hate you.
even finished it.
I didn't even finish.
Oh, that was a good one.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Deacon. I'm JJ. We're your two dads. We'll be back tomorrow.
Let me give. You want me to give you one that you can guess, so that you can feel even? Okay.
Yeah.
You can guess this one. Use your brain.
All right.
A weasel walks into a bar. The bartender says, "Wow, I've never served a weasel before. What can I get you?"
Yeah. I don't know.
Pop goes the weasel.
Oh. It's good. All right. Hey, yeah.
I love you, buddy.
Yeah. Hey, I can always try again tomorrow. Bye, everybody.